Hi, everyone. Welcome to Kiki and Kibbitz. It's Mary, and I'm here today with a very special prison brides interview. Everybody, welcome Gabby. Hi, Gabby. Thank you so much for joining me.
Hi, thank you for having me.
How are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. A little bit of running around, I hear.
Right, yeah, the puppies need to be safe.
You're
Yeah.
taking care of a doggy with
Yeah.
um with your friend Emma. You guys had to go to the vet today. Emma's dog wasn't feeling well. So we're gonna
Yeah.
reschedule with her another time, but we have Gabby here today, and I have questions for you. Your
Go on.
your storyline is so compelling. I am totally into the show because it reminds me of my two other favorite shows, 90 Day Fiance and Love After Lockup combined. So your storyline is so compelling. But I want to ask you, first of all, what made you decide that you were going to put yourself out there and put you and Jamal's story out there for everyone? I know that you have the wrongful conviction thing, but what made you decide that this show is going to be the right platform?
Um, I was just, to be fair with you, I was just thinking to get more exposure on his situation mostly. It was not like I want to be on TV or I want to be on the show. It was necessarily concentrated on his case and his situation and everything, what happened, with hopes that maybe we're going to be able to raise a GoFundMe page for his attorney's fees, and just like maybe get some help, maybe somebody's going to see his situation, and I'm going to be willing to help him. It was more like, yeah, that kind of case.
So what kind of feedback have you been receiving since your story
Uh,
has been airing?
I guess just neutral, or like there's a lot of opinions about it, some people supporting, some people not, you know but it's like it's the show, so I was expecting it to be very people,
Right,
have more negative
exactly.
opinions than positive ones. Yeah.
Um, I just want to get into your love story with Jamal. Now, when you guys first started communicating, what was it about him that made you fall in love with him?
It was a lot of things, like I always say to the people, there's not like one thing that I could say like I fell in love with him. It was like a small tiny pieces that added up, and my feelings just grow, and he had already feelings for me, and I was just, because obviously the prison thing is, it's complicated, and if I would agree to do this, it's a big decision for my life.
Right.
um so it was like a lot
The
of
right, the
small
prison
things.
thing and the long distance thing.
Agree.
Right, because you guys aren't even in the same country.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So it was like a lot of tiny things, like, the we spoke about my life, we spoke about his life, we get to know each other, we get to know each other's values, what we hate, what we love, what we expect from our lives, what kind of life I expect to have in the future, what kind of life he expects to have in the future. There's a lot of little things, and it's just like it just happened. There was not one specific thing that I could say like, because of that I fell in love with Jamal. Like I keep falling in love with Jamal every single day.
Now, your first time you went to see him, how was that first prison visit?
I was extremely anxious to be fair with you. Not to meet Jamal, but mostly from like, going to prison. I've never been to prison before. So
Right.
that was, and I heard horror stories about it. So I was mainly was stressed about going to prison, getting tapped down, taking off your shoes and socks and like, just all that process. So that was stressful. But once I got in and just saw Jamal, was like there was no stress left, to be fair with you. Like it was just because it felt like I knew him for a really long time. It didn't felt like I'm just meeting him. It sounds like meeting him for a first time. It's just something that, I know I knew the person, but when you constantly talk every day, constantly messaging, constantly, and it's like, you get to know the person before you even meet them, if that makes
Right.
sense. So
Right.
yeah, it was great to fair with you.
Now, the one thing that I'm curious about, how is he now with the phone calls? How is
Mhm.
he able to afford for you guys to, to talk so much, especially long distance?
Well, he has a job there, so he does work. Also, I'm paying the clothes and I'm paying Jay pays. So that's on me. But that's something that I agree to do.
Right,
Um, I don't do that constantly because he does work, so he does add up to it. But yeah, this kind of goes like a half-half.
right. Now, he has a long time to go.
Mm-hmm.
Are you concerned that, you guys may never be together in the real world?
Not really, because I know his case and I know, the whole situation. So that was the reason for me going on a show with hopes to raise the money, because we do have the evidence actually proving that he's not guilty, which I wish I could share with everybody, but I can't for legal reasons.
Right,
So trying to raise the money for the 6500 motion, which is released from judgment and is based on newly discovered evidence. You only can file for that motion once in a lifetime when you're in prison. So if you're
Right.
so you cannot, the other appeals you can appeal multiple times. With this motion you can only do one time through the
Okay,
prison sentence. So to do that, you have to know what you basically, that you have something good to present to the court, to show like, look, this is not true and this is not what happened, kind of thing.
right. Has your family warmed up to the whole idea yet?
Yes. We've
Perfect.
been we've been with Jamal for like almost 3 years now. So, it's they know Jamal, they love Jamal actually. Like,
Great,
I love
great.
Jamal, my mom loves Jamal, everybody's really loving and supportive when it comes to it.
That's fantastic because, I mean, from what we've seen on the show, things were a little dramatic, so
Well, everybody a little bit of spice.
right, exactly. You got to throw a little bit of spice. Okay,
Yeah,
I want to talk about this prison wife support group that you guys
right.
have.
Hmm.
How helpful is it to you when you discovered it? How did you discover it?
For me personally, I cannot even remember how. I think so. One of my friends told me about it. It is helpful. It can be sometimes get toxic because there's a lot of women and a lot of opinions.
Right?
Um, that's the puppy.
Hi, puppy.
Hi.
Hi.
Hello. She just loves loving on
Yes,
her.
of course.
um, yeah. So when it comes to like prison brides group, not prison brides group, prison like wives group,
Right.
actually was really helpful for me personally, because I was from the outside of the country, and that was, certain things that I didn't know was extremely helpful, because you can just type it out and ask, and about a specific facility or whatever the contacts or how you should go through around certain situations, whatever that would be legal, medical, some issue, whatever that would be, is
Right.
from that side is really, really helpful. Yeah.
And did you make a lot of friends on the group, or is it just
I would say I am I don't like to keep a lot of people in my circle, if that makes sense. I know a lot of people and I know a lot of lovely people.
right?
I've always been a bit antisocial person, if that makes sense. I have a couple of friends that I love and support dearly. I know a lot of people, but I met Emma through the group. I met a couple other girls through the group, and we're great.
Right.
So.
What advice would you give to someone that is in a relationship with someone who is incarcerated?
I don't really know what advice I could give, because every relationship is different and every couple is different. When it comes to relationships, I can't give advice to somebody else's relationship because I'm not the one who is in the relationship. When it comes to prison thing, I think, patience. For me and Jamal, the way we do it is we understand that this is temporary.
Right?
We trying to look at the logical type of sense. We understand this is temporary, just like a patch in our lives that we have to go through and we have to deal with. And yeah, and we're gonna deal with it, and this is gonna be over, and then we're gonna be able to start our lives together. That's how we look at it.
Now, we know about Jamal's case from what we heard on the show and how his mother lied
Yes.
Does he have contact with his mother at all
Not
now?
anymore. Not
No,
anymore. Mm-mm.
but he does
He's
talk to his dad, right?
yeah, occasionally he does. So I think that was also a great thing to clarify something, because obviously the show didn't show a lot of it, of what's been said. So I can add certain things. A lot of people do think that um for no reason Jamal's mother just went online. There was just no reason whatsoever.
Right,
Um so the way it happened was that when Jamal's mother kicked him out of the house, he was living from the friend to friend, and he started to work for the people that was not very good people,
right,
and that was
right,
not doing very good things.
right,
And then these people for my husband. So also my husband's best friend was working for these people too. And then what happened was that basically these people refused to pay to my husband and my husband's best friend. So they basically stole what it was been owned.
right. Okay,
And then these people came after my husband for it, and after my husband's family. They was getting like a death threats. His mother was getting death threats. My husband was getting death threats and stuff like that. So it was not just, oh, she just went and like lied for no reason. She was threatened to be killed. So it was more like it was my husband or her.
right. And I've heard some of the recordings that you posted to your social media, and she basically says that she lied to have him sent away because he would be safe.
That's the reason why. That's what she thought in her head. But
Right,
when I had a conversation with her, even before all of this, when I had a conversation with her, and I said to her, I can help you guys and I can figure things out and I can get him out of the country if that's necessary, just do the right thing and tell the truth. She said to me that she's not going to sell a cow or a house for Jamal. That's was her answer. She said she doesn't care. So um I just started to post these recently, but it's been like ongoing thing for some time.
right,
It's really sad because I did not grow up in that kind of environment and I do not understand that kind of environment. Also, I guess is like maybe cultural differences.
right,
Because my mother grew four of us on her own, and she never brought a man into the house. She never drunk in front of us. Like the only thing that I remember, my mom is working hard.
right,
So when I learned about Jamal's situation, it was really hurtful because at the end of the day, no matter how old Jamal will be, he still needs his mom. And when his mother did this, and even before that, they never really had like a mother son relationship. Like his grandmother was more like a mother to him.
right.
Jamal's mother had him when she was 15. So for him, it's like that piece of it is kind
And
of.
when this all happened, Jamal was only like 17, right?
He got sentenced 17. He was 15 when it happened.
Oh, wow. Okay.
That's what I'm saying. And it's like a lot of things that just, even if you like look through the transcripts, a lot of inconsistencies there is in her own testimony as well. There was the alibis, there was a lot of things, that's happened. Prosecutors only pulled out the records that basically, because I asked my husband, I was like, why you never said like, why are you lying? Like, I mean, if she lied, why you never said that? And he was like, I did say that. Prosecutor wanted to get me sentenced. He never like pulled the jail records, the ones that actually said that I was, why she was lying.
Right,
So it was like kind of, she made a deal with these bad people, and she also made a deal with the police. So yeah, that was the case, and it is what it is. And I'm just, I wish that, the relationship, and it would be kind of like different type of relationship with, you know, the mother-in-law and, all the family. But
right,
when it comes to situations like this, I feel like it's right is right, wrong is wrong. And somebody who still has a lot of life to live and still can make something good out of themselves should not do a time for something they did not do. That's how I feel.
Where do you see yourself in 5 years, Gabby? What's your 5-year plan?
Well, hopefully Jamal being free. Praise to God. We do dream to have a farmhouse. We're not really like, you know, into the city, so we want to have a farmhouse and, you know, like a lot of grass for our kids to run, you know, and yeah, just live peaceful life. We both quite antisocial. So that's like our dream, just get away from the people and just buy a farmhouse and, you know, teach our kids to grow up with good people.
Before I let you go, is there any misconceptions that you want to clear up, whether it's something that you saw on social media or something from the show, like you just cleared up before? Is there anything else that you would like to clear up?
I would just say, you know, I understand the show is the show.
Right.
And people are quick to judge the show because it's the show, is that type of show. But before saying something hurtful to the people, just or talking about, like, for example, all of us, just try to get to know us through our social media platforms, you know, and all of us, we do a lot of TikTok lives and like other things, you know, and Jamal calls me in the evenings personally, and we do TikTok lives right now with Jamal together, so he could answer his own questions, so he could be more involved. So before base opinions on, you know, whatever you see on TV, not everything is how it seems, you know. So just that part, and just love and good, be kind to each other. I think if the people would be more kind to each other, the world would be a better place.
Oh, yes, definitely. I totally agree with you on that. Thank you
Yeah,
so much for joining me, Gabby.
no
I really
problem. Thank you
appreciate
for
it.
having
I'm
me.
so totally into the show.
That's great. It's a lot to come. Today's coming out the other
Yes, yes.
episodes.
Another
It's gonna be a
episode.
fun one.
Okay, thank you so much. And
No problem.
thank you everybody for watching. See you next time.